Hello, this is Chas with Heirloom Leaves and Seeds, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about cold hardy annuals, cool flowers, just seeds that like to be grown in cooler temperatures. So I have all of my cool flower seeds right here, and some of them is already planted, but some I'm going to start in early spring. So I have them all grouped into types. So I will go through and talk a little bit about them and maybe certain colors I might want to grow this year and maybe some that hasn't worked out so well. But I'm doing a cool flower seed inventory slash seeing what else I need to get started or will start for the 2025 season. So let's get started. All right, first on the list is yarrow. Yarrow is a really cool flower and pretty easy to start from seed. I like to really use plenty of these in my bouquets. I love them for their poker straight stems, and it's just a beautiful flower. So I've got double diamond, and this was a really nice one. I liked it because the flowers were more open. They were a little bit bigger than your typical yarrow, and they were just really fun. So I really liked these. And I've got cloth of gold, and this is a really good one to dry because it's a bright yellow and that color is retained after you dry it. I've got the pearl flower burst fruit bowl and some doubles there. So really like those. Some people I've heard they will start them every couple years because they're more like a tender perennial. They're not just going to be there forever. Sometimes you have to replenish what you've started. And then one of my favorites to grow is digitalis or foxglove. Now I am really excited about these. This is Fairy Queen, and the first time I saw them on this website, I was like, oh my goodness, those are the most beautiful foxglove I've ever seen, and I have to start them. So I already got some plants started and they're in the ground, and I'm really, really looking forward to them this year. Next, I have Cafe Creme, Cafe Cream, whatever you call it. This is a really beautiful one, and Fairy Queen might be my favorite. I don't know yet, but this is my favorite one I've grown so far. And then I have Obscura, Alba, Excelsior, and no, that's a repeat. So I have all of those, love those, really looking forward to those. And then I have Calendula, I have some Ivory Princess, and some Touch of Red Buff. Those are both very beautiful. I don't typically use those too much, but I will start them with the rest of my seeds. Now I have this one. This is a beautiful calendula that I use a lot in soap making. I will infuse oil with them, and I also like to dry the petals and sprinkle them on top of my soap. So that's a fun thing to do with this plant. Oh, here's some that who knows if this will work out or not, but I wanted to try them. So here I've got Lysianthus, and anybody who is familiar with growing your own seeds for cut flower gardens, you know Lysianthus can be a little bit tricky, but I want to master this, so I'm going to be doing some research into this, and hopefully I will be starting these and these in January. Eucalyptus Moon Lagoon. These take so long to mature, so getting an early start on those. Really looking forward to those. I grew eucalyptus from seed for my daughter's wedding, and I didn't quite realize how long it took them to mature, and around the wedding time they were like this big, so I would have just had to cut them to the ground to even use them. So that didn't work out, but it was fun to grow them. Next I have cobia in violet. These are also called cup and saucer vine, and they just need a long time to reach maturity, and they're they're pretty neat. I really like them. Okay, start putting these guys away as I go. All right, so we did the yarrow, the digitalis, and the calendula. Gonna leave those out for January. All right, next is Nigella. I already am growing some of these, but this is mulberry rose. And I've never grown a pink variety, so that'll be really fun. I'm looking forward to that one. And then feverfew, I have got several different varieties here. I like the ones that are daisy shaped. I like the ball shape. I keep trying different ones and I have not found one yet that I do not like. So those are really fun to grow and they smell nice and they're just all around a good plant. And then rudbeckia, I've got a prairie glow, somebody that I really like and follow on Instagram. They grow those and they're really pretty. And I've got an Indian summer. Those are a really nice big yellow rudbeckia. All right, next is helichrysum. I have several different mixes in here and I think helichrysum is beautiful, but it does not like our Tennessee weather. This year, all summer long, I hardly used it because it just, I don't know, it didn't seem happy. It came, it was full, it had buds, and they would hardly ever open up. I think it's just too hot, too humid. But once we had a frost and cooler temperatures, they opened up and we're happy. So I might have to work on the timing and not depend on them in the summer because they just don't like it. And the same thing is true for sweet peas. Nimbus is my all-time favorite. I love that smoky gray purple color. It's beautiful. And I can grow them. I just don't use them for cut flowers because they just don't quite seem happy. And that may be a timing issue on my part as well. I try to get them out pretty early in the year, but sometimes they're spindly and I don't get many flowers. So not sure on that one, but I don't really use them very much in my bouquet making. So these are pretty much in the same family. We've got a me and Daucus, and I have some purple kisses and the green mist and a few others. Orlea's not in the same family, but similar. And then I have Queen of Africa. That's another one that's similar to that one. And I'm not sure, I'm going to cut back on how many I grow because I've had a few customers say they didn't really like them because there's thousands of flowers and they tend to, as they like after they're cut, the little individual florets will dry up and they drop. And so you'll have a shower of little dried petals. Now that doesn't bother me very much, but I want my customers to be happy. So if they're not really happy about it and people has mentioned it, they were nice when they told me, but you know, they were just like, I like them, but the customers don't. So gonna cut back on those a little bit, try to find a different replacement that might hold their petals a little bit better. All right, and then I have a poppy. This is champagne bubbles mix. Those are fun. I don't use them a whole bunch, but I do use them a little bit. And then I have two types of larkspur. I have the smoky eyes and the carmine. And the carmine is a new one for me, and that's a pretty pink one. And I think it's a double. So excited to try that. I did the smoky eyes last year. Pretty happy with that. I say those need staked rather well because I had a lot of flopping issues. I don't like to stake stuff, but sometimes they just need it, and larkspur is one of them. Now I have an area on our property that I just let naturalize, and those do just fine, but the smoky eyes, it needed some support. All right, that's a feverfew. And here I've got pretty much just a little bit of a miscellaneous ones that I don't grow a ton of, but here we go. Let's see. Okay, I've got several scabiosis or scabiosa. I got Snow Maiden, Black Knight, Salmon Rose, and I think that might be all of those. I also like, it's kind of a crazy name. I think it's Fata Morgana, but it's a peach color and it's really pretty. And actually, now that I'm saying that out loud, I'm kind of regretting not getting that this year. That sounds really pretty. And now I've just got a few different ones. I've got some patchler buttons, and these are all a mix, and I definitely like those, and I will definitely be growing those again this year. And I've got all kinds of different dianthus. I have this beautiful purple crown. This is one of my all-time favorites. And I have a super duplex mix, Amazon Rose Magic, and I think that's all of those. I like to do bouquet dill. Now I don't use those so much for bouquets because I tend to have a lot of caterpillars on that, so I don't want to ship them off to somebody. And then here I've got some clary sage and some wild bergamot. Now I just do those a little bit and I just tuck them in here and there. And then I have this German statice, and this is not your typical statice that you dry. This is the feathery kind that's more of the type that florists use, and that's a German statice. I have a perennial phlox. I really liked these. Those are really beautiful, and I am going to grow more of them this year. Here's some snapdragons. I've pretty much used all of my snapdragons. So this is a butterfly dark rose, and I'm going to toss these because they did not germinate. I just remembered that. This is Echinops Blue Glow. I have started some from seed in the past. They did pretty good. All right. Next, I have some hollyhocks. I have this one, and that's a pretty apricot. And then I have this, I haven't grown it yet, but it's a gorgeous double black hollyhock. So really excited for that. This one I actually have already started. These are from my mom's garden. It's similar to this one, and they're just light apricot, light pink, and they come back every year, or it's perennialized. I'm not sure which, but those are really pretty, and I've got them started. And then what do we got here? Some money plants. A nice lady at the farmer's market gave me some as well from her garden, and these are really cool. I've tried these from seed and they haven't done really good. This is Sissinghurst White, and they did okay, but hopefully I can get hers to come up because these just got about this big, got a couple of the seed pods, but they never matured. So I'm hoping that these I got from this lady and are local, they might do a little bit better. But it was cool. She showed me how you rub them in between your fingers, and this, they just kind of do this, like each seed pod will do that when you just do this, and then the seed comes out. So I really hope I can get some of hers to germinate. These I haven't had much luck with. And then I have a Beplurum. I have the regular Biplurum that I have grown for years and years, and I also have this Bronze Beauty. I have had some trouble germinating this, but I'm gonna keep trying. I have some seeds left, so I'm gonna work on that. And then I have some Digitalis. This is Dalmatian Peach and Camelot Cream. These will flower in the first year, so I'm going to do these in early spring. All right, and then these are the ones that my seeds are all gone, but I have some Orlea White Finch Lace Flower. I have some Agrostemma Ocean Pearl, and I've got some Alchemilla Thriller, and some Bells of Ireland. Now those I all have started from seed. I've grown these. Bells of Ireland, those did pretty good, and I was really happy with them because they have a really pretty scent to them, and I wasn't expecting that. And it's just a pleasant, light floral scent, and I really like those. The only problem I've had with the Bells of Ireland is they will flop. One storm and then they start growing like this, you know what I mean? And that was aggravating because they looked really good for a while, and then we had a storm and I didn't provide netting, or I didn't stake them or anything, and then they were beautiful, but they were growing, they grow like this up towards the sun. It's like they're leaning and they'll grow up. So that was a little frustrating, but other than that, I really liked them. The Lady's Mantle, I haven't got these to germinate, so this is another one I need to work on. The Agrostemma Ocean Pearl, beautiful. I don't use a ton of these, but they're very nice for an early spring flower that's white. Orlea, same thing. I like to use the seed pods on those because that's another one similar to the Ami or the Daucus. All those little flower petals will fall and they can be a little bit messy. So I'm gonna wait till they start to go to seed and use them that way. But I think that is everything. So yeah, that's everything for my cool season flowers. Now I will do another video on some of my warm season flowers. I've got a pack of seeds. The ones that I had gotten in the mail, most of them are warm season. So I hope you guys found this interesting. There's a little bit more planning I have to do because I have to get a few more of the cool flowers in the ground. Probably, I'm not sure yet, but in the first couple months of the year, I'll be getting these guys started so I can have plenty of time for them to germinate and start forming a nice little plant with plenty of roots. And that way I can get them out there in the garden before our first frost, and they'll have plenty of time to develop in the cooler weather. So I hope you guys like this video, and I will see you in the next one, hopefully. And you guys have a great weekend. Bye.